Willie, hey, do me a favor. Get hold of that Momir Vujanic guy. You know, he speaks all those different languages. Because I'm dying to know what Putin and Trump are talking about. It's huge news. It's going to affect the stock market, everything. And right now, stocks are booming. I want to, keep riding this train. No, not that train. The money train. Yes, absolutely. That would be fantastic. So, can you get a hold of him for me and get all the detail? I mean, I know you know people that know the right people and everything else. So it'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be a blast. Yeah, I'll tell you all about it later. It was a great trip. All right, man.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, hey, Nelson's here. So
what do you mean Nelson's here? Here's my question for you. Where
man?
In the blue hell
yes
have you been? We have not been on air for the last 4 weeks because, quite frankly, apparently you have been traveling.
Well, I had
with a companion of some sort.
I was doing Al's wedding. You saw the pictures. You were supposed to be there. You kayfabed. You no-showed. It was the wedding of the and of course I did a great job at the ceremony.
When was Al Snow's wedding?
Carried the 4. I think it was June 23rd. I think it was.
Okay.
I haven't seen you since.
You haven't seen me since, but I've seen what you've been up to, David Hero, and. Last time we were here, we were talking about your little trip to the Cauliflower Alley Club in Las Vegas.
That was a blast. I had so much fun in Lost Wages.
And you spent a lot of money there, too. But
again, we're past that. I showed the receipts.
You've shown
Frank
no receipts.
Cosentino, he took care of it.
You've shown no receipts. You have not explained yourself. And, in fact,
bro,
you have
the tag.
done it again.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
It doesn't when I have to pay for it.
You don't tell me what you do in Vegas.
I want you, though, and actually you don't have to tell me what it is you did in Jamaica. The hell were you doing in Jamaica starting June 25th through apparently just a couple of days ago on July 15th, according to this credit card statement that I received due on July 27th for a total of $29,049.72.
Yeah, well...
What were you doing in Jamaica?
It was therapy.
Look, we have obligations here. These people have been waiting for weeks for me to be back on air. And while I could have done this myself...
I was still tweeting on Mondays and Tuesdays and during pay-per-views, keeping everybody up to date with my thoughts and opinions.
When did you book your airfare to Jamaica? Specifically Negril, Jamaica? Looks like somewhere around June 12th when we were on air. At least that's what that particular $4,542.45 charge is. Yeah.
I thought I had a Groupon for that.
You apparently booked this on June 12th, and then just after Al's wedding, you arrived in Negril. You were at a CVS pharmacy after taking an Uber from what appears to be the airport. And then there is a charge of $2,500 for...
who does an Uber,
resort,
first of all? If you're traveling, who does an Uber?
The resort known as Hedonism 2 for $2,500. Not to mention the room charges at Hedonism 2 at $6,743 that you charged to your room on top of a $5,000 ATM withdrawal.
But that was just pocket money.
And then another trip to the CVS pharmacy. And you spent $83 there.
What would I spend $83 at a pharmacy for?
Well, perhaps it had something to do with your final 2 charges. Because you ended your trip with a charge at the Negril, Jamaica Public Health Clinic for $1,500.
I think somebody stole my card. Or your card.
$1,500 at the health clinic after...
Public health
well, it's interesting because it was just 2 days after your $8,000.
I did not
$450
$8,000
charge at the Scrub a Dub Strip Club in Negril, Jamaica.
See, here's where I'm confused. I didn't know that was American dollars. I thought it was like different currency.
$8,450 in one night at a strip club called Scrub a Dub. What dub did they scrub for that much?
If you spend 8,000 pesos in Mexico, do you think it's going to be $8,000?
This is not Mexico. This is Jamaica.
It's the same thing.
These
you leave the country to get
are the charges. This is the bill. In the last 3 months, you've charged over $50,000 to me and this show. Who in hell do you think you are?
Okay. I took your advice.
And who, what,
Okay.
how does one person spend this much on themselves?
It wasn't just one. I took your advice. And you know about being nicer and more understanding and everything else.
All things you're incapable of.
No, that's not true. So Linda and I did a couples therapy trip.
You and who?
Linda.
The woman you assaulted right here on this very set, you punched in the frickin' face, the woman whose language and nationality you have ridiculed and made fun of, the woman who doesn't like you at all. You went on a hedonism trip to Jamaica with Linda Kay?
I thought it was
what did you think?
I thought it was where people would go.
So, okay, you did no research before you spent $2,300 each on airfare to get to Jamaica, to go to this resort.
Yeah. Okay, remember
Where do
Andrew,
you think this money comes from?
Remember Andrew?
What? It's not about him. This is about...
He would go there all the time. He said it was great. I thought it was he and isms. Like, he
Linda,
and,
could you come here, please?
Linda was, you know what? We have learned so much about each other on that trip.
Can you...
It was awesome.
Come here, please, Linda. Can you please come here?
I don't know what you're upset about. Where's Harmony now?
$29,049.72.
Baby? No, of course not.
Again, though. It's been
Don't touch me. You eloped, basically,
No, we didn't get married.
with this asshole to Jamaica and spent $29,049.72 of my money on it?
But Damien,
It's the card. It's the show's card. It's all of our money.
it's all of us. You know, for
Does
all those weeks.
all of
we
us
were
pay it, or does all of me pay it?
Isn't that a song? All of Me? Or is that a movie?
I don't know. Perhaps they played that during a particular moment at your little excursion. And who spends 2 weeks? $6,700 charged to the room. What in hell did y'all buy?
Cal was at football camp.
What in hell did y'all buy and get charged to the room that racked up in a week and a half's time? I have such a headache,
Well, we
and
went
it
through
is.
a lot of
I am
towels. There's hot down
serenity
there.
now. Serenity now.
We had food.
We made up.
Yeah.
Isn't that important
Yeah,
for the show?
yeah.
The
You
dynamic?
could have made up at the Sybaris Suites up the street.
That's disgusting.
You didn't have to
Who would do
frickin'
that?
get on a goddamn airplane, spend $5,000 of my money for an airfare, and then $29,049.72 of my money for y'all to play nookie with each other, which the mere thought of absolutely disgusts me. Linda, I thought you had class to not be with this ass. How could you turn on me like this? After all I've done for you, after all I have done for you
Did
and
you take her
protected
to the
you,
grill?
I
No.
promoted you, I gave you a seat at this table.
In the middle. You could have come along, but that'd been awkward.
Yeah, we could have
No.
done a fun PWR
But,
trip.
hey, the
we haven't done one in a while.
No, we
so,
haven't. No,
but,
not since-
but no, I
not since
assure
Dallas.
you.
How are you guys going to pay this back?
I have a great idea. We're going to have a fundraiser.
And so what? And so
Well,
what? Because you don't have your dignity. You don't have your own self-respect anymore. I can imagine after this
Well,
trip.
okay.
So
You
what
know
in hell are you going to
There's a
sell?
huge announcement coming later on today during the show.
Today, Wednesday? Or tomorrow, Thursday?
Tomorrow,
Or on
Thursday.
Friday?
No, tomorrow, Thursday. We're having a huge... It's a new venture I'm working on. It shall make lots of money.
And much like every other new venture you've ever worked on, it will cost me money. Just like this cost me 20. Look at this bill, Linda.
That's considered
You should have
seed
known
money,
as the
isn't it?
card was
Well-
being swiped and swiped
No,
and
it's not
swiped
You just insert it
and
now.
swiped
It has that gimmicky hologram on there.
that somebody was going to have to pay for y'all's little shenanigans. And I've heard of,
You told us
I've
to make
heard
up.
of,
I never had it in my hand. The card.
oh, and I suppose you didn't inhale either. It doesn't matter. You're an accomplice. If I were to call the police, not in Jamaica because they wouldn't do anything, but if I were to call the police, both of y'all would be in jail
Why?
having your own little version of hedonism
My
there.
name's on the card.
It was removed. So how you even had the opportunity to use it, and it was my mistake because I left
When did we
Linda's
go to the
name on the
pharmacy?
card, and I
We didn't
should
use
have
anything at the
not
pharmacy.
trusted either of you.
Bro.
Either of you. Look,
it was
I'm
your
done.
idea.
I'm done. I'm done. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to expose myself to some
Whoa,
serenity.
wait a minute.
Now,
No, we can't. Not in this
I'm
show.
going to reset myself.
Who's Serenity?
And tomorrow,
Was she the stripper at the Scrub-a-Dub?
we're going to have a new edition of Prime Time. And then on Friday, we're going to have a new edition of Feedback Friday. Linda, you may take your leave. And David,
Well, we need to have a production.
you may go to hell.